Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and I am the boldest man in the Eastern Hemisphere. Ring a bell, gentlemen?
Well,
Now, I want to welcome you to your favorite show, the show that lights up your Tuesday night. Now, tonight we are going to, once again, take on one of those topics that a lot of people don't want to indulge in, but we are going to indulge you. And we are asking the all-important question: has modern love become transactional? Now, to get us to create a perfect balance, we decided to have lovely lady here, Captain Sue. Are you going to take us to where we need to go?
Oh, definitely. The plane is going to land where it needs to be landed.
Fantastic. Don't worry, these guys call me the king of cheesy lines. So, yeah, they ain't seen nothing yet.
bravo, Peter.
You want yourself a business class ticket.
Thank you.
To nowhere.
Now, don't forget, this is your show. We want to hear from you. Our hashtag is NTV Men. On a normal day when we are on X and talking to you, our handle is
NTV Men
Underscore UG.
fantastic. You've heard it. Now, guys, let's dive straight into it. And we'll start with you, Faisal. Can we comfortably say that love has become transactional, or has it always been transactional? Just that now we are a bit more open, especially guys of your generation are just a bit more open about it.
Too many balls towards my generation.
Yeah.
One, I don't want to separate the two things, love and the transaction bit, because what it was before is not what it is today. But I want, let's just talk about what a transaction is actually.
Yeah.
If you go to a market, yeah, and let's say you're buying an apple, and you have 5K, you want to buy the apple. For it to be a transaction, you don't value the 5K anymore. You value the apple more than the 5K, right? So you're giving away the 5K because it doesn't feed you anymore. It's of less value. The other person as well is giving away the apple because at that point in time, the money is more valuable than the apple. Yeah, that's a transaction. But that's not how love is supposed to be, because when it comes to love, you're supposed to give away what you value. It's like charity. When they tell you you're going to charity, you're doing a charity drive, you're picking out things to put, to give out to these people. You're not going to pick out the shoe that is done. You're going to probably pick out your best shoe, your best jacket, your best item in the wardrobe, because that really shows it's coming from heart. You value it, so it's charitable, it's real. Yeah. Now, when you say is love transactional, there are levels to this love thing, because in the past, love wasn't, people never used to come together just because they love each other. People used to come together because families want to work together, kingdoms want to work together, empires want to rule a certain place, and that was valuable enough for them. Yeah. But they also, remember, at the end of the day, giving out their daughter. That was a sign of value. Yeah. This is not the same as a transaction. That's why I can't say that love has always been transactional. No. With a transaction, you're giving away something that you don't value anymore for something else. So that's why,
all right.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. So we have now reached a point in time where people are clouded. You come to the negotiating table with this notion of, what am I getting? But the only reason you say, or you ask, what am I getting? What do you bring to the table? Is usually because you want to pick value from the other side, but you don't have anything valuable to give. So it's actually not love, it's a transaction.
All right, interesting. Now, Colin, can we... I know, the guy has come in firing on all 4 cylinders. But human beings are selfish by nature. That, yes, we are. We always want the best for me. So that the why differs, because I could want to give it to my people, I could want to give it to somebody else, but I always want the best for me. So we're inherently selfish by nature, and that's why we need to be taught to share. Now, does that make it okay to get into a relationship with a transactional mindset?
Tell him about that relationship that was trending in the news. The chick and the guy who took the chick to prison. So a couple of weeks back, as Colin comes in, there's a guy, I think they come from Western Uganda. He paid tuition, 14 million shillings. Yeah. When the chick graduated, she's like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm
This
married
relationship
anymore.
is
This
working
relationship
out.
is done.
The guy took her to court.
The guy took her to court. She's now in prison.
The court demanded that. No, she's in prison because she couldn't pay back the
couldn't.
84 million.
So people are asking,
that's
in that situation, who is in the wrong? Is it the guy
so
or the woman?
I've always said that you should stop educating poor people. I've always said it's my position. It's my position that the thing about helping needy people is you can't always tell if they're grateful, right? It depends on gratitude. You hope that they'll be grateful, that they'll reciprocate, right? This is the thing about what you're asking, and I guess going into relationships hoping for them to be transactional is this idea. So Peter, we've talked about this for a long time. A man has 4 resources, right? His time, his effort, his emotions, and then his money. The money is at the bottom. Any single time people give you their money, they trade in life. We trade our money for things that we want. When we find people we're connected to, we then trade our emotions with them. I care about you. You are my friend. How are you doing? How have you been? We keep the friendship, right? If I truly care about you, I then give my effort. I will help Faisal write his CV. I will spend time. So and so lost a cousin. We are going to go and grieve with them, right?
Because there's value.
There's value there. There's a relationship I'm trying to keep. At the height of that hierarchy is the time. The things that we give our time to. I am at home sitting in my living room drinking tea and I'm wondering, I am thinking about Peter. I wonder how he is. I wonder how he's been. Let me give him a call. And so it's a 20-minute phone call. How have you been? How are things? How's business? How are the pineapples, right? And I think that's...
The pineapples. Just wanted to say.
So that's sort of how we organize how we live and how we order our priorities and our resources. I think that if you think about, and the thing about what Faisal has said is, it has set a very serious precedent because it's sort of saying to people that just because you educated me doesn't mean I have to marry you. I'm not obliged. Actually, the reason why this girl was in prison was breach of promise to marry. That's the actual, the framing of it. But when you really look at it and how people get into relationships these days, you get to hang out with me, you take pictures of me, I put you on my Instagram, and in return, you have the privilege to pay for my rent and buy me a phone and take me out on dates and make me look nice, right? The interesting question which we need to ask more and more is, and I think that this is a main question, right? Because you can't have your cake and eat it, which is what modern feminism has told people to do, that I want to be the prize, be taken care of, and have all the benefits of chivalrous society, while also saying I want to do none of the traditional responsibilities. And that's what happens. So someone says, what do you bring to the table? I bring beauty and femininity and youth to your life. But like, man, have you seen these bills? Like life is very serious. And I don't think that beauty and youth are enough for people to continue to be in relationships that are one-sided. We are no longer in a society where if you have land, people can grow food and they'll survive. In a society that's so highly commercialized, there has to be more that people bring to the table to these relationships. Otherwise, it just ends up with this movement that we call men going their own way. People sort of walking away from it and saying, you know what, you keep this stuff, I'm gonna go to the gym, build my life, make my money.
Yeah, okay. You've framed it one-sidedly in a way, and I'll tell you why. Because you see, the thing is, reason why I believe that it's kind of transactional is the fact that nobody's forcing you. So this is what is put there. This is the price. You choose to go for it. But we'll come back to that.
As a guy who has serially run away from bride price, you should be careful.
This is not about me. And maybe that, okay. Now, moving on swiftly.
Wow.
I mean, he's the guy who's writing the border.
Direct attack now.
Okay.
It's Iran, US.
All I can say is, Colin, when you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. Captain Sue. Now, you are big on social media, and social media is one of the things that has been basically called out as one of the biggest causes for transactional relationships. Does social media paint an untrue picture of glamour and glory of the way life should be, yet it's not really in the reach of a lot of people?
Yes, I think so. You've had the statement of do not believe what you see on social media. We have seen it couples be the most glamorous thing and you see everybody. I'm tapping onto that blessing. I tap onto that relationship. I tap onto this, but it's not exactly what it is once the cameras go off.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
So it's you need to be very keen as a person who's in a relationship or you want to find a partner, is you need to be genuine. I think right now what we're losing is authenticity. Be authentically you. And like you say, the love that was there before is different now. I think it's still the same, but it's the standards that have shifted.
Whoa, standards have shifted.
Yes.
So they've become higher. People want more.
It's not people wanting more. It's because the love that was there back then was when women were looking for providers. Women are now providers. So what more are you bringing, like you said, to the table?
And then it becomes a transaction.
Wait. Is it your impression that
it's not
women
a transaction.
are the providers today?
We have evolved as women. There were times women did not have bank accounts. You needed a male person to be there. There are times women could not be able to drive. We have in countries where they have just been allowed to drive.
Okay. So in Uganda,
So right now,
is it your impression that women are now providers?
no, we have stepped into the role where we can be able to provide for ourselves the basic things that back then we would look at and they'll tell us, wait till you get to your husband's house. Okay. That's when you will be able to find that. But right now, I can drive, I fly planes, I own my own house, I have a job. What is a partner going to bring in my life that is going to surpass all of this? And that is not materialistically. We're talking of emotion.
Musumba.
That's not how you approach. Because
It's time for that break.
that shouldn't be how.
Because now just before we get into the break, Captain Sue,
When you need it.
I beg to differ with you, and I'll tell you why. Social media has become a hunting ground for a lot of young women. Okay, and Colin said it packaged it very likely, but I'm just going to put it out there. There are a lot of women who are saying, "Look, I am all this." Okay, and they put it out there and say, "But if you want this, you've got to pay for it." And there seems to be
So my
nothing wrong
question
with
for you
that.
is, why are you looking on Instagram and social media to find a partner?
Because
It's like you're
Fine
hopping
girls
through
are
a
not in charge.
catalog.
yes, yes, you just say
The
it.
buddies are not in
Badges
charge.
are not in church, man.
And they're not at the tennis field, and they're not in the social spaces. The only way to find the buddies who are the hot girls is to find them on Instagram.
Now that is exactly what I was talking about when the standards have shifted. You need to get a buddy in your budget.
You just take us to break.
Okay,
Because I
guys,
give
now
up
we
now.
need to get into a break. We are here at Sanga Talks having a conversation about transactional relationships. Question for you men out there. Is your buddy within your budget?
Within your
We'll be
budget.
right back after the break.
Men.
Welcome back from the break. In case you've just joined us, it's getting hot in here. Now, tonight we are having a conversation about whether relationships have become transactional, or do we need to go back to where we started from? Now, there is a QR code on your screen. Scan it. I keep saying, if you don't have a smartphone, that one is on you. Probably your budget is being taken by somebody else. Probably your buddy. Now, guys. Yes. Now, on the issue of money, Chris, I'd like you to weigh in here. Is it okay for a lady to expect a man to finance her lifestyle during the dating process?
Okay, so feels like you're feeding me to the crocodiles here. Especially after the buddies in the budget thing. But I'd like to situate where I'm coming from, if you can allow me. So for the longest time, I've been talking about where you get spouses from. So
Colin says they're only on
so
social media.
Colin said they're not, I don't know where, not in church, not in, and he goes on. And then when you pick them, when you pick them off social media, you get the ones who want the money, because that's why they're there. It's a market, it's a shop. Someone sells their wares, you're buying, you pay. Okay. So there's a reason why most people who end up in very stable marriages find the people they marry within friendship circles, or even in places where you have families find a bride for their child. It's people they know. There's some connection, some relative knowing of the person. I think it matters a lot where you find them. And because usually birds of a feather flock together. In this case, I would say maybe the feathers are what the people believe in, and their mannerisms, you know, bad company corrupts good morals. So if you find a person and all their friends are detoothers, but you want to expect they are not, you're wrong. They too are, they're the fifth detoother in the group.
Yeah.
Okay? So why am I saying all this? I think that if you really are shopping for anyone to relate with, and by relationship, maybe it's about what happens between the sheets, it's not complicated. Yeah, speak, road, whatever, that's not a problem. But if you're looking for something long term,
Yeah.
I think your selection criteria must be higher, and you need the comfort of community. It's one of the things that I really think is important in any marriage. I even talk about that in my upcoming book. Marry well. But it's a thing of it's a thing of community.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. If we're brothers and friends here, the four of us.
Peter is not anyone's brother.
Well, assume he is.
It's just an acquaintance.
Okay.
No, I
But
insist.
let's-
I'm your brother.
Let's assume that there's four friends here
With the
as guys. All right. Let's assume this is our sister. So we're family or friends, a group of friends.
She's not.
I'm saying that the key word is assume. Okay. And so Faisal is looking for someone to get serious with, and he's probably spotted somebody. What wise people do is he will say, Colin,
My brother.
this is the person I'm thinking. What do you think? Chris, what do you think? Captain Sue, what do you think? I'm talking about the wise people, Peter. Just let me finish.
all right.
That's why you're not asking
Right?
for what he thinks.
So what happens? So what happens is others are able to see what you don't see,
Where your blind spot
where
is.
your blind spot is, right? So it's easy to tell you a lie, but it's not easy to tell everybody a lie.
A lie.
Okay, and so there is actually safety in those numbers. In a multitude of counsel, there is safety. So many of the times we find that we get into some of these bad relationships because we don't consult. It's like the day, Peter, there's a day I was getting my pay rise, right? And this is many years ago. I used to earn 50K a month. Can you imagine? Big job. And they were doubling my salary to 100K. I just come out of
USD?
No. Uganda shillings. This is in the 90s. I just come out of S6. I was in VAC. This was a vacation job. Now, on the day I was getting my 100K, though I used to work in crane crafts and engravers. So there's this guy who comes and he has a band of dollars and he's ordering things, and then he has some wololos around him. He looks like a rich guy or whatever. So he says, oh, by the way, you need to come to my place. We order. So I sit in the car And they drive me to old Kampala, and in the car he's flashing all these dollars, and they're into minerals and things like that, and they interest me in the deal somehow, as if reluctantly. So and it was payday. So I worked with my brother in the company. Kid you not, I went to the accountant. I withdrew my salary. I handed it to the guy and waited for the minerals to come so that I show my brother how clever I am. How I've multiplied my 100K into, I don't know, 10 million just in 2 hours.
Something tells
Did the guy show up? No.
You're still waiting for him.
Do you know why people get robbed in broad daylight like that, conned? It's because you don't use company. So we have relationships where you're getting robbed because you don't use community. You don't consult. So your fault.
Okay, but you see, if I just one thing, you see, again, I always say, Chris, you are painting an ideal scenario. No, just wait, hear me out.
Peter, it's your fault. You asked a guy who has no buddies a buddies question.
Well,
no.
You'll be surprised.
Yes, okay.
You guys with the budget.
Because you see, by the time Faisal
Chris's
comes
buddies are in heaven.
Jeez.
Yeah,
And he has
that's true. And some on
The
earth,
tithe
of course.
budget is big, by the way.
So, anyway, that's a whole different story. So you're expecting to go meet your buddies in heaven?
Yeah, they're both up there and down here.
Here he has only one buddy, but in heaven they are prepared
Okay,
for him
guys.
an everlasting feast.
Anyway, so because the question is, you see, by the time
What's unreal about what I'm
you
saying?
see, usually by the time we'll use Faisal as the example,
Yeah.
we'll come out and say, this is the woman I'm interested in. He's been seeing her for a while. He doesn't meet her and then come and say, hey guys, I've seen this girl on social media or whatever, I'm interested. No, he will explore. When he so by the time we are seeing her, the decision has already been
Peter,
made.
the sense I am saying is when you see a girl, okay, that you think you are wanting to get serious with, just consult with your homies.
Actually,
What
so
does
I
it
have
cost?
a point of input here. This behavior is not irrational.
Yeah.
People like Faisal have evolved to have the knowledge and the wisdom not to cancel because, and I forgive me for talking about him because not here, because if you have Jaluo over here and you come and say, I have seen Captain Sood, your brothers will eat your meat before you have finished canceling.
Those are not brothers.
No, listen.
Those are
In the
hyenas.
world in which we live,
You
am I
live with
lying?
hyenas.
No, you're not.
You don't
know
show
what
yourself
I'm
in the
saying?
beginning.
You don't
First,
show off in
second
the
time,
beginning.
no. That's not how it
Listen,
works.
and Chris, like this is what Peter takes exception to. When you say, this is my truth and I'm not willing to accept that in the real world, guys who are your friends, if you show them your girl, they will try and feast before you have feasted.
And those are your buddies.
These
Why
are your
would
buddies
you have
because,
them in your circle?
because also you would feast for them before.
Like I
Look,
said,
I
both
think
of
it
us
shows your
together
company.
Yeah.
flock together.
So Captain Sue, again, moving from the ideal world, do you think it is okay, literally, for a man? Because I'll now give you a more practical example. I know of a young lady, who refused to date a guy, all right, because he wanted to take her out on their first date. They're working together. The good thing is they're working together in a bank that Colin knows very well. And I mean, and he wanted to take this young lady out, and he wanted to have a date with her at Java House, and she told, oh my goodness, those who had, I think you've already answered the question, but let me tell you what, because that was what he could afford. Now, there's this thing called potential, all right?
Oh.
Yes, which is a reality, because, and these men can tell you here, some of them have been through things. There are women who said just the same way you've said at Java House. Now they're running after them because the tide has changed. Do you think it's okay for a guy to fund the dating process?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Or do you think he should be doing that?
No, I don't think he should, if you ask me.
Funding the dating process. Okay, so
Eat him, finish him.
as a,
You're not related to him.
Also, I'm interested in finding out what she thought about the Java House thing.
Yeah,
because her reaction was like, at
Yeah,
Java House.
because
So,
that's what we're discussing
now
now.
let me get to that. Now, as a woman, we normally fall for potential a lot of times. So when a man is coming to tell me that, okay, I see you, you're the woman that I want to live the rest of my life with. I want you to have my children. I want you to bring me peace. And I also want you to make a home for the both of us. So what you're showing to me during the courtship is a projection of how my future is going to look like. If Java House is the most you're going to do, I can see myself with my kids on Eid or Christmas, and that's the most we're going to be doing.
You are right.
What?
You understand? So if you're going to fund my lifestyle as your woman before the ring, you are showing me a projection of what our future is going to look like.
And there's something.
Is it worth? Is
The
it worth
transaction.
continuing
Basically,
your
it's a
legacy or not?
What
and
if
you
at
have
the
a
moment,
problem with
what,
Java House,
yeah,
right?
what,
That's the.
what
so
if at the
essentially
moment
saying
that is what I
Java
can
House is-
afford?
And
What's
at
wrong
that
with that?
moment, why are you looking into a relationship?
You should
because a
focus on
relationship
making
is
money.
costly. Truth be told, a
Yeah.
relationship
So
is
poor
just
people-
Java House is a downgrade, right?
Yes.
What are you? Are you grabbing coffee or are you like going for like
For a
dinner?
date.
Like
for real.
starter, main course, dessert,
No,
a
Java
Java
House
House?
date.
Peter, Chris,
Because there are guys who even take their girls to chikumi masquerading.
essentially, Captain.
And
Now,
still
now
married.
that
if you want to
is
take
the
a girl
person-
to Java House,
Yeah.
please stop trying to date. Find some money.
Exactly.
Guys, no.
First
No.
focus.
Faisal,
People saying this on
Imagine-
TV.
I know. Do you support this?
Let me give you a
There's who
scenario.
support this. Peter, it's you and Captain Sue. Us,
No,
we're just
let me give you a
bystanders.
Wow!
We are air hostesses.
No,
Us, we're just air
The plane has
stewardess.
taken off.
It's you and
We're
the
behind.
captain.
no.
We're on the runway.
Let me give you
We
a
are
scenario.
waving flags.
Yes.
Right now, we do not have that. Let's wait till
Red
marriage.
flags.
Things do happen. Now you're taking her to Java House. A kid comes in the way. How are you going to handle that?
At
Well-
Java
So from
House.
Java House, we're going to downgrade to what's that place you said?
Chikumi. Oh,
I don't have the.
But listen, what happened through thickness and yes?
That happens when you're tying the knot after the courtship. After she has assessed you and she's like, okay, Chikumi
All
is my
right.
level.
No.
Let's go tie the
Okay,
knot.
but Captain Sue, can I tell you where the danger in what you're saying is? And you know, it's interesting. We're actually going to talk about men and debt. There are a lot of men who are getting into debt to project an unrealistic lifestyle.
who they are not.
Who they are not.
It's
to
because you're not
impress.
living within your means.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
see,
the girl
my
wants you
means
to
is
take her
Java
to
House.
Serena Chigo and not Java House.
That's the reason as to why you shouldn't look on the Instagram baddies. If
If-
you want
So,
to
so,
find
so
a
wait,
guys,
are you Instagram?
I think we have
Hey,
died.
Social- no, I'm not-
guys, we're not using labels here.
You're
No,
not
I'm just asking.
Instagram.
And the reason why I'm
Where's
asking
it?
is, no, wait. The reason why I'm asking
Yeah.
is Uganda's median age is about 16. Okay, so we're one of the youngest populations in the country, in the world.
The second youngest in the
Second
world.
youngest in
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
So we have most Ugandans soon getting into the age, if not already, in the age where people are dating and courting and considering marriage. I still remember my younger days. You know, there's three things. You have time, you have energy, and money. When you're younger, you have a lot of energy, a lot of time, and very little money. Okay, when you grow old, when in the middle years, you have you have a lot of, you get money, you have the effort, but you have no time because you're busy. Usually when people grow older, they have a lot of time, they have a lot of money and no energy. Okay, so the younger guys who are supposed to be closing the marriage deal, all right, they have time, they have energy, they have love, but they don't have money. Okay, at least not the kind of money that older men have. All right. So you're saying to these young people who are watching right now that if they take the girl to Java House, it's a deal killer.
Okay, so wait.
In which country are we?
Which is the truth. Now we need to get into a break. We need to get into a break. We spoke
country are
it
we
in a
in?
break.
You created the whole segment
No,
where
no,
people
no.
are saying that Java House is a low cost,
Yeah, we're going
affordable.
to get sued.
No.
This
Going to get
is you know,
sued.
that,
It's
so
not
you
low
have to
cost.
sort of say,
Yeah.
and I think that we needed to sort of pull this out of the plug in
When
the
we
beginning.
get back straight after the break. Now, guys, we are here. I was going to say we're here at Java House, but we are here at Sango Courts having a very heated discussion about transactional relationships. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Men.
Welcome back from the break. We are here at Sango Courts having a conversation about transactional relationships. If I may be honest, I thought this was going to be a very simple and straightforward conversation, but clearly I was wrong. Colin, Peter, I need you to weigh in here with, hopefully, a kilo of sense.
So listen. So Peter, thank you so much for bringing me into the conversation, because again, as I interjected earlier in the earlier segment, where I said sometimes when you invite a guy who has no buddies into a buddies conversation, it's quite likely that you might get a sermon instead of a budget. So, officially speaking, thinking about where we've come from and how this conversation has evolved. So I agree with Captain Sue on a couple of things. No?
Me, I don't.
Okay, wait, we're coming. I'm going to hand over to you. So, two things. The realities of the modern world dictate that, as she had indicated, and I think when we went to break, Chris was in shock. Like, if you don't have a budget, you shouldn't be on Instagram looking for buddies. You should remain in the WhatsApp status. That's where you should look for your buddies.
Is that what you are telling the second youngest population?
No, listen. Like, I'm just simply, that's what Captain Sue said.
I think you can speak without labels. Carry on.
I'm just simply saying that that part of growth and maturation is also realizing is self-awareness, knowing where you are, where you belong. Yes? And I think that self-awareness allows us, and here's what's interesting. It allows us to pick friends and male peers. We will rarely, most guys will rarely befriend people outside their class and levels, right? But when it comes to girls and life partners, we want to sort of really stretch and go, what's the highest I can possibly touch, right? And I think that self-awareness is important in how we make those decisions. That's one. But two, and very importantly, and the important conversation we want to have is, if the relationship begins with what can I get from you, it's already a transaction. Yeah. But to clarify that, I would like to hand over the ball to my very, very able friend, Faisal, for the three.
Okay. I like the way you've cleverly, just when you're meant to be dealing with the hard stuff.
I am dealing with hard stuff.
Anyway, what I wanted to start with is, I think, one of the purest forms of love. And the advantage is all of you here are parents. So I want you guys to go back to that point in time when you first saw your child. That love that you felt, knowing that you're going to give everything to this person and they owe you nothing. Like, that baby can just crawl and go out and never come back. That baby can sleep off. When you spent 10, 15 hour shifts, you've come back for the baby and the baby just sleeping. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I want you guys to look at that love and compare it with whatever stuff you guys have been talking about right now, because that is not love. Love in itself is supposed to be unconditional. You see, if it's a transaction, that means there are conditions. You get, for me to love you, you have to take me here, and it has to be this certain status.
There's a price.
For me to love you, you have to do this, you have to do this. It's not love anymore, it's a negotiation, it's a transaction.
And that's the point. That's the point I was making, because you see, the thing is that, and I'm not blind to the fact that...
Just let the guy finish. Just let him finish.
He's going to
Then go on. Yeah. But I totally agree with you.
Bring it. And when you finish, you bring it, then we hand back to you.
So, I'm also going to take up that So what I'm trying to say is, for anything, if you really truly care about anything out there, if you have a pet, if you have a course, if you have any of these things, one of the reasons why, let's say, Captain Sue studied to become a pilot is because she loved it. I like to believe you loved the course, right? Why you studied to become a pastor, you loved it. Why you did strategy, why? Because we loved these things. It wasn't because of what we were going to get from being a pastor or what we were going to get from being we loved it. We took it from a point of, let me input myself in this craft, and let me get something I'm going to contribute in this craft that's going to turn it, that's going to make it different. Yeah? And that in itself is that pure sense of love that I'm talking about. In my religion, in Islam, Allah says, between two lovers, I put my love and mercy. Yeah, like if you ever want to experience the closest thing to being in heaven. Actually, they tell us this in Islam. If you ever want to experience the closest thing to being in heaven, it's the love you're going to have for your other spouse, because it's supposed to be unconditional. It's supposed to come from a point of me as me, Faizo, this is who I am, and this is what I offer. Not what are you bringing for me, yeah? And what I offer does not have to depend on what you're offering. I have to be sincere about it and say, oh, by the way, in Islam, you cater for the dates. Like when you're courting someone, you pay for everything. The woman is not supposed to pay. Because you have to, as a man, give yourself there.
Is that literally from the Holy Book?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the practice, yes.
Right.
So
Let me lay it back.
Yeah. Finish.
So just finish it now.
And therefore, if you then consider what this young wise man has said, if true love is about fully giving yourself, at any point once you start this transactional evaluation or circus, I think that what's happening now, Peter, is people are masquerading. They want to be in the business of meat selling, but while covering it as courtship. Let us take away the mask. Let us be honest and call it what it is. I am a young man. I want to be with you. I don't have the resources for the house and everything, but I have for one night. We do what we can and then we close. But instead, you come here, you masquerade, you say we want the relationship. 2 weeks in, your mother has swallowed the toothbrush, and then your father's house needs a roof. And then we are doing all this circus and playing in order to hide the reality, which is that you are in need and you really need to be a dependent. You're not supposed to be anyone's spouse.
I mean,
Peter,
yes.
please allow me.
Okay, all right.
I think that in a very weird way, the three of us are on the same page. And here's how I see it.
No, you're not.
No, let me say what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. I don't think that it must be, if a guy can't afford a certain lifestyle, they're not banned from falling in love and being in a relationship. Okay? And yet I'm not saying that we should have irresponsible men who can't hold their weight, who are not earning and bringing, able to put bread on the table and that type of thing. I'm not for irresponsibility at all. The challenge I have with what we're talking about, because we see it often, is that when a relationship is about how much you can get out of the person, the ataina sente tafumitarindazi type of thing, so it becomes, here is the money you want, I want my mandazi now type of thing. As compared to love, which is giving. For God so loved the world that he gave. Right? His only begotten son. Love gives the best. Love is patient, it's kind, it's forbearing. You put up with a lot because you love the person, right? And I think I would like to say, just before I pass the mic to you, is I'd like to say that I don't think that there is anything like modern love.
Yeah.
Love has been love from the very beginning. It's the same thing. Love is love. It's just that there are some people in our time who are transactional, and there's people who are not. When the first relationship I had, the girl chucked me. She told me, I've chucked God, I've also chucked you. I was bitter, I was hurt, and I told my mom, I'll never relate to anyone until I'm 40 plus. I was 21 at that time. And so one time, in the midst of bitterness, my mom looked at me. She asked me, Chris, can I ask you a question? I said, do. She said, do you think there are any good boys in church? Because I've been in church all my life. She says, do you think there are any good boys in church? I said, I think there are good boys. I mean, I am there, and my friends are good boys. So she let me go on, and when I was done, she said, so do you think there are still some good girls in church? I was cornered. I was cornered because I had judged every girl to be like the one who chucked God and chucked me, but that wasn't the case. In other words, what I'm saying is this. wherever you may have, and by the way, please, I don't mean any disrespect. I don't think I would say this a bad person. I'm just saying what my story was. I realized that in every society, there will be people who are good to hang with and some who are not.
Yes.
You just need to choose
Chris,
wisely.
your poverty was making you chuck all women for all time. Like, instead of simply saying, I will go and make money, like,
He's like, no.
it's
Clap
like,
no.
no.
Clap
Like,
no.
Close the chapter.
All right,
Like,
guys.
what you needed
won't
was
derail that.
BDM, yoga, circle money. That's what you needed. Not,
21.
and
You had better things to do.
Yeah.
Guys, all right, now
Like,
we've reached
check
that
at
point where we do
21.
need to wrap up the show. It's unfortunate that time really, really runs when you're having fun. So, as we wrap it up, Captain Sue, I would want your parting shot. And I just want you to touch on one small thing. Are we then saying that men should stand on their wallets? Because, you know, there's a saying that people ask, how tall are you? And you're told your height depends on
Yeah.
the thickness of your wallet.
really?
I think men need to realize their roles as men. If you know, you know.
If you know,
As
you
a
know.
man, you need to be a man. Like he said in our religion, men are the providers. A woman in our religion is even paid to breastfeed your child.
Sips drink.
Exactly. So you need to understand your role as a man, and a woman also needs to understand her role as a woman. If you're a provider and you are a protector, step in your role, and the rest will fall into place. You'll attract someone in your frequency, no budget, in your frequency, and that's the person that you will be able to build with, mentally connect first. She has to understand the state of your wallet. So that you get to, I mean, it's a partnership, so that you get to know what to do in the future. Yeah, but step into your role, know at the end of the day, I am the provider, I am the protector. I know I am the one who makes a home at the end of the day. What you give to a woman, she multiplies it 10 times. You're with her, she'll give you a child. You give her a house, she'll give you a home. You give her groceries, she'll make you a warm meal. So understand each other's roles.
All right, Chris, your parting shot.
I'm taking a breather.
All right, Faisal, your parting shot.
In Islam, there's a certain way they take women. It's not something to play with. It's something that you need to handle with extreme care. You need to be extremely serious about it. But also, it's not a transactional relationship. Because in itself, if I tell you how a relationship is supposed to start in Islam, you literally come with your brother. I come. I'm not supposed to meet you alone. It's supposed to be me, Sue. Sue's big brother is seated right
You're
there.
not
Or
going to
Sue's
meet
sister is
Sue
seated right
anywhere,
there.
bro.
Okay,
She's
Sue's
not
sister.
for you.
Okay, fine. But you get what I'm saying, yeah? What I'm trying to allude to is it might sound, I don't want it to sound like it's transaction. No, it's actually not. You're not even supposed to touch. You're not supposed to do anything. It's just a conversation that you're financing. That is it. But when it comes to these usual, you know, these haram, let me call them haram relationships. These haram relationships of ours. Even with these haram relationships, let me give you advice. Please, if someone comes and they're asking you, what do you bring to the table? What do you do for me? What are you going to do this and this and that? That's a red flag. That's a very big red flag. And why? You as you, like, what you can't complete yourself. You need me to bring something into your life. Yeah. And the other thing, as I summarize, a relationship does not work because a man or a woman is accomplished, she has a job, she takes care of her necessities or what. A relationship works because two people have chosen to make it work. That's it, period.
Cool. Colin, fire starter, your parting shot.
Peter, I said to you 14 years ago when we first started this show, I told you that we needed to make money because money allows you to distance yourself from your decisions. And that's how rich people behave, right? So rich people give you money so they don't have to give you time, so they don't have to worry about your problem. You've seen this in modern families with young kids, right? They don't have to give you time, they don't have to give you emotions, they don't have to care.
Yeah.
As long as you have money, the sort of money becomes the barrier. That attitude is held by rich people because they have the money. When you don't have the money, you can't have this attitude, right? And I think that if you think about what we've discussed today, there is like if you're poor, you need to put the time and effort in your relationship because you don't have the money to create that distance, to supplant and amplify your person's dreams. I say this because, and I guess I'm going to keep it short, is there are people who's, like, you've lived your whole life in a squatting toilet. You date Pfizer for the first time, you're in a sitting toilet. It's a simple example, but you have to then think about that at an order of magnitude, about everything, whether it's flights, it's tourism, it's knowledge, it's finances, that the person you are with is an order of magnitude higher than everywhere you have been. And I think that, and this sounds bad coming from me, but in that case, people like Pfizer are the ones making the mistake. Because then you have to uplift and teach and train. If you stay within your level and within your bracket, then you don't have so much. The uphill task is not so hard, but also the training and updating task is not so hard. It's terrible because the larger implications are classist, and they sort of say people should marry within their income brackets and their intelligence class and their wealth class. That's what's bad about the implications. But when you think about the headache we've been discussing now, the easiest, shortest route would be things like that. That's it.
Okay. Chris, your parting shot.
Well,
I don't like this man very much, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Because you're his favorite now.
well, here's what I think. I know that money is part of the conversation of life. Because, like the Bible says, money answers all things. So you need money to go around life. Okay, so I don't want to downplay it at all. But I think, excuse me, I think this conversation is really about whether you have a demand-based relationship or a supply-based relationship. A demand-based relationship is one where everyone in the relationship is asking, what's in it for me? It's about me. What about me? What about me? Selfishness, like Peter said earlier. Those sorts of relationships are transactional. If it's a love relationship, it will be a supply-based relationship. It's about giving. It's about you giving the best of you, and the other person is giving the best of them, and no one is asking whether you're doing your part. So everybody is giving their best. And I think that what that looks like is to get into a relationship where if you're set on the relationship, if you're set on the person, the man is working to give the best to the relationship, and the woman is working to give the best to the relationship. It's a relationship where you'll find there is love from the man for his wife, and there is respect and submission from the wife to the husband. It's a giving thing. So every time you have to ask for it, every time you have to demand for it, it's the wrong type of transaction. So if you find yourself, it's in the wrong type of relationship. So if you find yourself in a relationship which you hope was leading to marriage, but you start seeing red flags of what about me, me, and it's demand. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very strong word. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very heated Tuesday night. I want to thank you for staying with us. Guys, hey, it's okay. I've put more gray hair, thanks to you. But we'll be right back next week on your favorite show, and that is Men. Have a good night, God bless, and take good care of yourselves.